In earlier episodes, I have presented 8 chapters from my book titled Great Saints of India. This is the ninth chapter of the book dealing with Dayananda Saraswati, the founder of Arya Samaj. Chapter 9, Dayananda Saraswati-Arya Samaj. Dayananda Saraswati was a Hindu spiritual leader and social reformer of the 19th century. He was a great visionary. He called for the equality of rights of all human beings, irrespective of gender, religion, or social standing. Among his biggest contributions to mankind was the founding of the Arya Samaj, a social cultural movement that promoted true Vedic learning and worked for the upliftment of the society. Dayananda Saraswati was born on February 12, 1824, in a Hindu family in Tankara in Rajkot district of Gujarat. His father's name was Karshanji Lalji Tiwari and mother's name was Yashoda Bai. His family was Brahmin by caste. His father, a tax collector, was a rich and influential person. His parents named him as Mool Shankar. He had a comfortable upbringing as his family was financially well off. His father was a staunch believer in Lord Shiva and also made his children pray to the Lord and keep fast. As a boy, Mool Shankar was educated about the Vedas and Sanskrit. Mool Shankar's education started when he attained the age of 5. At the age of 8, his Upanayana Samskara, that is, being invested with the holy thread, was performed. He used to perform all religious rites with devotion. He had a very good memory. By the time he was 14, he had learnt by heart the Yajurveda, the scriptures, and the Upanishads. Karshanji desired that his son should follow in his footsteps by becoming a devotee of Shiva. He therefore used to describe the greatness of Shiva every now and then. He would advise the boy to worship Lord Shiva and only then eat something on days of festivals. On the occasion of Shivratri, Mool Shankar had to sit awake the whole night in obedience to Lord Shiva. One such night, he saw a mouse eating the offerings placed before the Shivalinga. The mouse also danced fearlessly on the Shivalinga. The young Mool Shankar gazed in amazement. His mind started to reflect. If God was all powerful, how was it that the Shivalinga kept quiet when the mouse was dancing on it? He questioned himself if the God could not defend himself against a little mouse, then how could he be the savior of the massive world? Once, cholera broke out in Tankara. Mool Shankar's 14-year-old sister died of cholera. This set him thinking. Death remained a riddle to him. 3 years after this incident, his beloved uncle also died of cholera. The death of his sister had made him move away from worldly life. This aversion became stronger after the death of his uncle. The desire not to fall a prey to worldly pleasures, but to attain what was enduring, took a deep root in his mind. He pondered over the meaning of life and death, and he started asking questions. This worried his parents. They decided to get him married as he was in his early teens. But Mulshankar felt that marriage was not for him, and in 1846 he ran away from home. Mulshankar roamed around as an ascetic, searching for answers to his questions about life and death. He wandered all over India looking for the truth. He visited temples, met many yogis, and even spent time in Himalayan retreats. But no one could give him the answers he was seeking. Finally, one day, Mulshankar reached Mathura. There he found Swami Virajanand Dandisha and became his disciple. Virajanand christened him as Dayanand and gave him some invaluable advice. He was asked to throw away all his books and seek knowledge directly from the Vedas. Dayanand completed his Vedic education under the guidance of his guru, who also asked him to spread the knowledge of Vedas among the masses, as the common man was moving away from the true knowledge of the Vedas and getting entangled in meaningless rituals. Dayanand promised to his teacher and mentor that he would devote his life to disseminating the teachings of the Vedas. As promised to his guru, Dayanand founded the Hindu reform organization called the Arya Samaj on April 7, 1875 in Mumbai. It was a socio-cultural movement aimed at reforming the society by making the people aware of true Vedic knowledge. The Arya Samaj was based on 10 principles which were based on the Vedas but were distinct from the prevalent practices of Hinduism at that time. Dayanand did not want to create another religion. He just wanted to re-establish the teachings of the ancient Vedas. He preached against many Hindu customs and traditions that he considered as meaningless and oppressive. He was against idol worship. He fought for equal rights for all and emphasized on social upliftment of women and the so-called lower caste. He denounced superstitions and condemned practices such as animal sacrifices. He showed the Hindus how, by going back to the roots of their faith, that is the Vedas, they can improve their lot as well as the social, political, and economic conditions of the then India. His main message, back to the Vedas, formed the bedrock of all his thoughts and actions. The 10 principles of the Arya Samaj are as follows. 1. God is the efficient cause of all true knowledge and all that is known through knowledge. 2. God is existent, intelligent, and blissful. He is formless, omniscient, just, merciful, unborn, endless, unchangeable, beginningless, unequal, the support of all, the master of all, omnipresent, immanent, unaging, immortal, fearless, eternal and holy, and the maker of all. He alone is worthy of being worshipped. 3. The Vedas are the scriptures of all true knowledge. It is the paramount duty of all Aryas to read them, teach them, recite them, and to hear them being read. 4. One should always be ready to accept truth and to renounce untruth. 5. All acts should be performed in accordance with dharma, that is, after deliberating what is right and what is wrong. 6. The prime object of the Arya Samaj is to do good to the world, that is, to promote physical, spiritual, and social good of everyone. 7. Our conduct towards all should be guided by love, righteousness, and justice. 8. We should dispel avidya, that is ignorance, and promote vidya, that is knowledge. 9. No one should be content with promoting his or her good only. On the contrary, one should look for his or her good in promoting the good of all. 10. One should regard oneself under a restriction to follow the rules of society calculated to promote the well-being of all, while in following the rules of individual welfare, all should be free. Dayananda Saraswati wrote more than 60 works in all, including a 16-volume explanation of the 6 Vedangas, an incomplete commentary on the Ashtadhyayi of Panini, several small tracts on ethics and morality, Vedic rituals, and sacraments. The works include Samskara Vidhi, Rigvedadi Bhashya Bhumika, Rigveda Bhashyam, and Yajurveda Bhashyam. But the most important of them all is a book called Satyartha Prakash, which he wrote in 1875. Satyartha Prakash means the light of truth. It contains 14 chapters based solely on the Vedas. It is a great book. It explains the true meaning of the Vedas and therefore is Satyartha Prakash. All the teachings of Dayananda are clearly explained in this work. He has shown that his teachings have the support of the Vedas. He has clearly pointed out the harmful customs and practices not only of the Hindus but also of the followers of other religions. He declared that it was not sufficient for any religion to teach a man how to attain salvation after death. It must also show a man how to live usefully in this world. The Vedic religion has shown every man the right path by placing before him the fourfold ideal of righteousness, wealth, enjoyment, and salvation. Since he was a very outspoken person who bravely fought against the ill practices of the society and was vocal in his criticism of meaningless religious practices, many people turned against him and had tried to kill him. He was given a glass of poisoned milk by his own cook on 29 September 1883. The cook was bribed by someone to kill him. Dayananda suffered in pain for a whole month before leaving for his heavenly abode on 30th October 1883. I have also published an audio book on the subject. The links for the book titled Great Science of India and the audio book are given in the description part of this presentation.